Hey folks, Lee Smith, spousesbuyinghouses.com. I'm going to show you today. I'm going to show you how to work the daily deal list. We offer a daily deal list that basically every day 10 to 30 properties get listed on the market in the Indianapolis MLS system. And what we do is we go through that list and we filter them based off of the assessed value, the tax assessed value. It can be a flawed system because sometimes quite often our tax assessor gets those assessed values wrong, but it can weed down 30 plus properties to 3 to 5 a day. And we find it's useful. We've had several people we have quite a few people signed up for the list, and they find it very useful. We've made offers on multiple properties because of this. So, anyways, I'm just going to kind of basically go through it and help you learn how to use the daily deal list once you sign up for it. So, a couple things to know up front. Basically, what we do is every day, like I say, 10 to 30 properties get listed on the MLS. We go and we look at the tax assessed value of each of those properties. And if the tax assessed value is $100,000, if the property was listed for $70,000 or less, basically 30% or more off of the assessed value, then we flag it as a possibility for you to look at to see if it's something that you want to pursue. So, like I say, we can weed down 30 plus properties down to 3 to 5 per day. So it's a manageable level. So you're not having to look at 30 properties a day. You're looking at 3 to 5. And so a couple things to keep in mind here up front. I'm going to teach you this up front. Occasionally we get HUD properties, which are housing and urban development. They're basically owned by the Fed. And those have some special rules, and some of our other properties have some special rules. HUD listings, by and large, they can be labeled three ways. They can be labeled as IN, which is insurable. They can be categorized as IE, which is insurable with repair escrow. And then they can be labeled as UI, or uninsured. And the reason that and there's a link on our website. Actually, it's in the email itself because I hide that part of our webpage. But anyways, you can go into, here's some different links that we give it to you on the email each day. This is a pretty typical email of what you will receive every day. It kind of gives you a basic description on how we filter properties. It tells you a little bit about the spreadsheet that we're going to look at here in a second, and then it also tells you the special rules about HUD properties. And the link for this HUD website or our website that explains HUD listings is right here in the email that you'll get every day. So let's go back to it. So we got the three basic categorizations, and these are only on HUD properties: UI, IN, IE. If it's labeled as an IN or an IE, HUD has set up a 30-day exclusive listing period. So that means that investors cannot make an offer on the property for 30 plus days. And basically what it is that they're trying to give owner occupants, people who are going to buy the house and live in the house, first preference for those properties. So if it's labeled IN or IE, then you get a 30-day exclusive listing period. If it's listed as UI, that has a 5-day exclusive period. So basically, again, 5 days after it's listed before an investor can make an offer on it. If you find one of our properties and it's a HUD property and you like it, what you can do is you can let us know, hey, it's an IN or an IE, and I'm interested in it. And what we'll do is we'll put it on our calendar to re-look at it like 25 to 27 days later after it's been listed, and then we'll look to see if it has any offers on it. If it doesn't, then we'll talk to you about going out to take a look at it, see if you're still interested in the property, et cetera, et cetera. Same with the 5-day ones. Usually if it's a UI, we'll go out in the next 2 or 3 days and take a look at it for you. And most UIs, owner occupants are not going to buy because they're going to have cash to buy it. So anyway, so that kind of explains HUD listings. So let's get back to the email. So this is the email that you get generally every day, and it'll give you where we've gone through and we've filtered some of the properties down. And then when you open up the spreadsheet attachment, you'll get to see several of those listings. So like today is the 19th of June. We've got one listing that passed our filters. Yesterday was the 18th of June. We had 2 houses that passed our filters. Normally we keep about a week's worth of data. So you should see about a week's worth of data here. But anyway, so here's our typical, the way we've spelled it out for you. Here's the list price of the property. Here's the MLS number. This is the status currently, it's active. The address of the property, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms it has. This is the total square footage. That can be a little confusing because sometimes they'll show up as like 2,500 square foot, but it may have half the house may be basement and the basement may be unfinished. So that's the total square footage. So just be aware that, you know, if it has a basement, then some of this total square footage may be tied up in basement. So then we have, you know, how many acres the property is. You know, that's how big the lot is, and this is what year the house was built. And it's not to say that this total square footage is, you know, 2-bedroom, 2-bath with a basement, you know, 1,100 square feet. That might be, you know, 300 square feet of basement, or it might be, you know, 100 square feet of basement. I mean, it might not be very big, and it might not show up in this number at all. Sometimes the assessor is wrong, but most of the time it's pretty true. So you can see here. So this is the year it was built. This is the basement. This column here is comps. Basically, with each property that we filter down for you, we give you a CMA with that property. So if you click on this link right here, you're going to go to a website that's going to show you a 1/4-mile radius of the properties. So it's going to show you property, 1/4-mile radius. It's going to show you active, pending, and sold listings within the past year, and it also includes any leases or rentals that have happened in the past 2 years. Now, if it's a rental, or if there's any properties within a 1/4 mile, they had to have been listed in the MLS. So a lot of times rentals are not listed in the MLS, but if they are, you'll get that with this. And then lastly, this last column here, this is our agent-to-agent remarks. These are the information that agents share between themselves. Not really secrets about the property, but it gives more specifics that really agents are more geared to. This is where you're going to see some special information about the property that most general consumers will not be able to see. It's not like it's hidden stuff. It's just, you know, it's more details about the property itself. Like this first one up here, this is a HUD home. So this is a housing and urban development. This one is labeled as UI. Can you see the UI right there? So this means that it's an uninsurable home at the current state, but it does look like it is 203K eligible. But most times you can't do a 203K as an investor. You have to check with your lender. So it's UI, so that means there's a 5-day grace period or exclusive listing period. So people who are owner occupants that are going to live in the home, buy it and live in it, they get preference for the first 5 days on a UI. If this was IN or IE, then they would get 30 days. So it's 5 days from now that this would show up. Now some of these other ones here, like this is home is sold as is. This is no offers reviewed during the first 7 days on market. So basically they're giving themselves another exclusive day period. Now this is not a HUD home, but this is like a bank owned most likely. So they're saying that they're not going to, excuse me. They're saying that they're not going to review any offers for the first 7 days. So they want your highest and best basically. They've got some other information in there. Oh, it looks like, see down here at the bottom, new AC unit will be installed at closing. This one down here, see basically it's just showing there's an attachment that we need to read and review. And generally when if they show like, you know, there's a special attachment and it could be a mold disclosure or it could be some other sort of disclosure like, you know, you're agreeing that if you go into the house that you fall down the steps, that's your responsibility. So sometimes that's what those are. They tell you what they're looking for. Then like at the bottom here it says lawn will be cut and house will be cleaned by 6/23/16. So today's the 19th. So they're saying 4 days from now they'll have it cleaned out and they'll have it the lawn taken care of. So anyway, so once we've kind of got some basic information, if it's something that may interest you, what you can do is you can click on this link here. And like I say, this is predominantly a CMA. So a 1/4 mile radius, active, pending, and sold within the past 1 year, and then leases within the past 2 years. So we click on this. It'll pull up a website. And so there's multiple views that we can look at on this. But basically what you're looking at right here is this is the map view. And typically the possibility property or the possible property that we're looking at is going to be right dead center in the middle of this because we're pulling a quarter-mile radius of that property. So like in this case, you see the little light bulb over top of it. That means it's a possibility that we've marked as a possibility. Now, generally red means that it was sold or closed. So like leases, see this lease here is a red one, but it's marked $650, so that's $650 a month at a rental. So a 2-bedroom, 1 bath. See, that's labeled 2-bedroom, 1 bath, rented for $650 a month. This one shows 2-bedroom, 1 bath, but this is most likely not a rental because nobody's going to pay $9,500 a month for a rental. So it was probably a sale. This one here, 4-bedroom, 2 bath. If we left click on that lightly, well, not lightly, but singularly, we see that that was a rental. It's a 4-bedroom, 2 bath. And then if we wanted to, we could click on this MLS link and it would show us the individual listing. This one here is a 2-bedroom, 1 bath. It's sold for $10,000. This one was a 2-bedroom, 2 bath. It's sold for $8,000. This is another 2-bedroom, 1 bath. This was a rental. Let me see here. So this one here is a 3-bedroom, 1 bath, and it's actively green means actively listed. So it has not sold yet or has not closed yet. So it's $30,000. Generally, stuff that is yellow is pending, but we mark this one as a possibility, so it kind of gets a little confusing. So if you see the light bulb, you're good to go. But you want to look at it and see how it's labeled here, active. If this status had changed to pending, or if it said active C or active $, or active I, or active something else, then that means generally it's pending, so just ask us about it. But as long as it says active, you should be good to go. This house here is 3-bedroom, 1 bath, $25,000. So it kind of gives you some idea. So here's what I wanted to do was this one property over here, 2-bedroom, 1 bath. We pulled it up. It was a lease, right? So that's kind of close to our subject property because we got a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, right? Actually, we got a 2-bedroom, 2 bath. So we look at this. We click on this MLS number, and it pulls up the individual listing. See how it pulls that up? So we see here that it was listed at $625 and it rented for $625, right? This is probably a double. Anyways, so that kind of gives you an idea. So what I was going to say is there's different ways that you can look at up here. If you click up here, this display button up here at the top, you can go back to split map with details, and this basically shows you where we were just at, and you can scroll in or scroll out, and then you can go down here. This shows you all the individual listings down here, right? You can also do split map with thumbnails, right? So it kind of zooms in and it shows you the individual properties. And when you highlight over, see I'm highlighting that one, it shows me where it's at. If I highlight that one, it shows me where that's at. It shows me this one, shows me that one, shows me that one, shows me that one. So see, you can kind of see that now. So you can also do map only, where you just see the map, right? And at the display up here, you can come up here. Now, consumer single line is just basically, this is kind of like a spreadsheet format of a CMA, right? You get to see when the listings were received. You get to see a bunch of different stuff, what the status is basically. So it's back on the market, new listing, new listing, new listing, price decrease recently, new listing, active with contingency. That's basically pending in this market anymore. Sometimes they'll actually say pending, but this is the new pending as well. This is a leased, so these were rented out. This one here, that doesn't even have status. It looks like that's an active rental. This one here was leased again, and then these are all sold comps. You can see up here, 23, and we're seeing 100 per page. So you could actually, if you really wanted to, you could change this to 10 per page. I don't recommend it. I say stay at 100. Excuse me. So you see them all on one page. So this kind of gives you your spreadsheet view where you can look at stuff, and then you can click on the individual BLC numbers here, and you get to see all their pictures. You can click on this to see their picture. You can click on this to see the map. So that just kind of gives you some ideas there. You can also go into consumer brief, consumer full. Consumer brief is basically brief information about each of those properties. You can go into consumer full. This shows you individual properties. You can use your, I used to be able to, but you can't now. You just click, basically you can click previous and next and see which property you're looking at, and then you can click on the pictures themselves, And you can scroll through the different pictures of the house. So it gives you that kind of an idea. And then consumer photo gallery. So if you're pulling up a listing, it kind of just shows you those pictures. Let's see if we can get here. So you can just, and like I say, you can just click on an individual picture and you can click through the pictures to see if it's something you're interested in. We can do it next. And so just kind of, I was hoping somebody would have more than one picture. There we go. There's a good one. So you can click here, and then on this screen, this screen you can do a left-right with the buttons, right button, and you can just start scrolling through the different houses. So it gives you an idea. You can see the pictures, and you can come up here at the top and then click X. How much they want for that bad boy? Oh, it was already sold. Gosh, all right, yeah, $9,500. I'd have bought it for $9,500. Looks pretty decent shape. For $9,500, crazy money. Should have been me. Anyways, so that kind of gives you an idea of what you can look at with these things. I mean, and in a lot of cases, oops, hold on, split map with details. Yeah, I've got this scroll bar going crazy here. Sometimes this happens. So, and in a lot of cases, you can figure out your own CMA on the property. You know, you can look at square footage here, and this is again is total square footage, but you can kind of guesstimate. So, like the subject property that we were looking at was the address on it is 2418 East 16th Street, right? So we come back here, 2418 East 16th Street, right there. So it's 1,116 square feet, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and they're asking $45,000 for it. We come down here and we look at the sales prices. You know, here's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath that's sold for $100,000. I'd have to look at it. That seems crazy money, but you know, it could be. This one sold for $65,500. This one sold for $10,000. These two sold for $8,000 and $9,500 a piece. So let's look at this one just out of curiosity. Let's look at this one that sold for 1,030 square feet. Does have a basement. They didn't label how big the size is, but it's unfinished. Pretty heavily updated. That's a 2-bedroom, 2 full bath. Let's look at it on the map. So here's something else you can do. You can click on this little mark right here, and that highlights it and selects it for you. So we can actually come back here to map view. No, don't do it. There we go. And see how the check mark shows up right there, 999. Okay, so here. So our subject property is way up here. So this is basically a totally different neighborhood down here. So that would be why the values are different down here. See, 87.5, 148,000, 65.5. So this is probably not a comparable because you're way over here. So that just kind of gives you an idea. So now if we want to, we can close it down. We can come back to our spreadsheet. I'm taking a little too long on each one of these. But you can click on this next one, 1721 Linden. It's a 2-bedroom. Let's look at this one here, this 3-bedroom here. It's 3333 South Rybolt. They're asking $23,000 for it. 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, 1,344 square feet. So let's see what we got here. It was built in 1935. So let's look and see what we got here. 3-bedroom, 1 bath. So let's click on the link. I'm going to open up my browser manually. All right, so our subject property is right here. 23,000, 3-bedroom, 1 bath. Come over here. This one is a 3-bedroom, 1 bath, sold for 29,000, 19,000, 48,000. That's 2-bedroom, 1 bath. 24,000, 48,000, 2-bedroom, 37,000, 28,000, 51,900 or 51,000, 3-bedroom, 2 bath. That's not too far from our subject property, right? So 51, 18. I'm not seeing any rentals yet. 93.5. Wow, that's nice. So that's not too far away. So I was wrong earlier when I told you pendings were yellow. They're actually orange. So 89.9 for this one, 3-bedroom, 2 bath. 80,000 for a 2-bedroom, 1 bath. So it's in the realm of possibilities. I mean, these are pretty decent 55,000. So let's see here. Let's go to, I'm going to go to consumer single line. This is basically our spreadsheet view. And our subject property is 23,000, 3 bedroom, 1 bath, 1344. So I like to come down and look at this one. This one is pending, 89.9, and it's a 3 bedroom, 2 bath. Let's come down here. 4 bedroom, 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 51. And you can click on these things here to sort them. So sort them by price. So this puts them ascending value or descending, ascending value. So you can see here this one's a 4 bedroom. So this 3 bedroom, 2 bath is pending at 89.9. 1368. That's roughly comparable to ours. 3333. Where was it? This one. 1344. Right to 1368. You know, and then when you're in this view, you can also click on the different ones that you want to go look at. So probably not the 4 bedroom, but let's look here at another 3 bedroom. So this one sold at 55. I mean, we can look at these 2 bedrooms because 2 of these sold for 87 and 80, right? That one's pending as well. So this one, that one's actively listed at. So I don't want to look at actives. I want to look at sold, and I'm looking here at this column here. See how it's labeled active, sold, expired, active, sold, pending. I don't know why that one would even show up as expired. So anyway, now that I've marked them all, we can go back here and we can go to map mode. Or we can do map with details, right? So now we see the 4 that I marked that I wanted to look at, right? So this one here is that one that's pending. Nothing really special about this house, right? I don't know if you caught what I just did there. We can come back to my mouse likes to get crazy sometimes. So let's look at this one, right? This one's got a lot of pictures. These are all ranches. They were built in 1934. See right there, 1934. This is the list price is 80,000. You get a bunch of information here. Taxes are 244 every. That's semi-tax. That's a half. You get to see square footage, main plus upper. Then the basement's another 960 square feet. See, okay, I'm sorry. This is main floor is 960 square feet. So approximately right here, this line here is approximately main plus upper M&U. See the M&U total square footage. That's 960 square feet. This house has a basement though, so another 960 square feet. And this is the total square footage that we see on our spreadsheet view, 1920, right? Supposedly this basement is finished 50 to 75%. So that kind of gives you some ideas. This is also a 4-car detached garage here, see? So this gives you some stuff to look at. So if we click on these link, we can look at the pictures. That's some beautiful wallpaper. Nice green countertops. The kitchen is decent though. It's got the washer dryer in the kitchen as well. Bathroom's decent. Shower, it's a 1-piece. That's nice. Here's the basement, partially finished. Looks like it's not wet. That must be the garage out back. Oh, that's nice. So that kind of gives you an idea of what you're looking at. Yeah, you could have a different in-law quarters over there in that garage. Anyway, so that kind of gives you an idea. So, and again, we can come back to map and search. And we can look at some of these other properties and whatnot. So it's just kind of, that's how I look at them. I mean, you know, I look at the square footage to see if they're comparable. I look at the quality. I mean, I never even did look at our particular property here. Obviously, the yard's huge with grass overgrown. Back of the house. Kitchen, probably paint the cabinets if they're savable, but it looks like the floor needs to be redone. Flooring in there needs to be redone. Can't tell if that's wallpaper, if that's paneling on the walls. Obviously the flooring is going to need to be replaced. Yeah, the flooring is going to have to be replaced. Probably needs paint and repatch. It's going to need the flooring replaced. Trying to see if those windows look a little older, so we'll have to see if those windows are in very good shape. So we get 8 pictures of the subject property. So, you know, it might be worth looking at. Let's go back to our consumer single line, and we can look at, so there was only one rental, and it rented for $6.50 a month. Let's mark that one. Wait a minute, let me mark and unmark. Mark just the one. Let's go back to map. Come on. So this one rental, 3-bedroom, 1-bath up there, and it rented for $6.50. That's a small little house, but decent. Newer windows. What's the square footage on that bad boy? 924, so it's a small 3-bedroom, 1-bath. So anyway, so that just kind of gives you an idea. I mean, most of the time, the most useful ones are the consumer single line here. You get to see what they rent for, and you get to see what they sell for. And then you can go look to your heart's content at pictures and compare square footage and bedrooms and bathrooms and all that sort of stuff. So hopefully that's pretty useful. If it's a property you're interested in, you want us to go take a look at, give us a call. We can definitely work with you to get that taken care of. All right, thanks. Any questions, comments, hit us up. Lee at spousesbuyinghouses.com. We also on the spousesbuyinghouses.com website. You can click on our investors tab here. And down at the bottom here, you can sign up. You can sign up for the daily new listings email, $10 a month currently. So you can check out with PayPal, use your PayPal. If you want us to do a comparative market analysis on a property, you come to us with a property, or you find something else you want us to do a CMA on, $5, we'll do a CMA for you. If you want us to do video services, basically I'll go out and videotape high quality, 1080p, 60 frames per second, high quality video of a property. Even if it's one of your existing properties, $100, I'll go out and videotape the exterior, the interior. Not sure I'll go crazy crawling through a crawl space, but if it's available, I'll try and get you what I can. Basically, I point out any problems I see, you know, just give you a good heads up as to what's going on, and you can watch it over and over again. So if you have any questions, comments, anything, just holler at us. Lee at spousesbuyinghouses.com. My direct number is 317-450-3491. Again, 317-450-3491. Thanks. Bye.